It's time to check Adam's voicemail.
Ace Man, it's Matthew in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Driving through my neighborhood, and I just saw a woman walking and reading a book. Performative, multitasking, what say you? Yerk!
You can leave us a message at 888-634-1744.
All right, we got some news, and then we'll talk to Mekhi Phifer as well. Yes. What do you got there, Max Penna?
So George Santos, he is suing late night host Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Right, because Kimmel was doing this bit. So he's accusing Kimmel for deceiving him into making cameo videos that were used to ridicule him on Kimmel's show.
Yeah, I saw some of this. Yeah, we're in a new era because the law is now chasing technology. Nobody has stuff on the books. You know, they can't. There's precedent for this. In 1902, there was Bakeman versus Charleston, and they had a case that who knows. Now he's saying he must be suing him because he aired it.
Yeah. So he's saying that Kimmel misrepresented himself to induce Santos to create personalized videos, quote, capitalizing and ridiculing his gregarious personality, says the lawsuit. So he would receive Santos would receive requests from individuals and businesses seeking these personal videos. Unbeknownst to him, Kimmel submitted some of these requests. Yeah.
They must have run this by legal at ABC. I'm guessing. I mean, from what I remember from dealing with networks and stuff, you don't get to just sort of do what you want. Do you have to kind of clear it with people? Things need to be vetted a little bit.
Yeah, I would. I mean, what do I know about the law? But
you're Jewish.
That's okay. All right. I guess that's enough for me to weigh in here. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
You would think that would need to be stipulated in the contract that when you make the payment. Obviously, George Santos is releasing himself to you in the transaction, right? So that waives, like this. You couldn't record him and not tell him you're doing that,
well,
but obviously.
I don't know. I think you could get George Clooney to take a picture of you, and you could maybe get a picture with George Clooney while you're holding up a bottle of your booze or something, but you couldn't use it on advertisement. You couldn't advertise with it.
Yeah, nothing with commercials.
So now then we're getting into some area. Yes, I agreed to do this for you, but now you're using it to create content that then brings in money or advertisers. I don't know.
Right, they're saying it's violation of copyright law, actually.
Oh, really?
And he's seeking damages totaling $750,000 for 5 videos he created that were played on his show. Do you want to watch one?
Yeah.
Let's watch one.
$750 seems a little low
right.
This economy. But all right.
Hey, Brenda, I wanted to congratulate you on successfully cloning your beloved schnauzer, Adolf. I know it was a lot of trials and tribulations, but you finally did it. Now you get to enjoy Adolf and be happy. So give him a belly rub for me. Mwah. Hey, Ron's wife. Ron wants you to call him George, but then again, not George because his name's Ron. I'm George. Anyway, he hasn't seen you, Swishy, or the kid since his disco birthday, and it's not fair. You keep accusing him of burning down the shed, shooting off fireworks, but he was trying to scare off a bear to protect you. This isn't fair. He loves his Swishy, and he just wants his family to be together on Christmas. And if not, on Valentine's Day or Flag Day. Just watch out for bears, Swishy.
Well, Shaq, you were the pioneer in this, right? I mean,
with
Carl Yastrzemski or
got Fred Lynn.
Fred Lynn, sorry.
And I was thinking about exactly that, getting Fred Lynn, Bill Simmons' favorite Boston Red Sox player when he was growing up, to kick Bill Simmons out of our fantasy football league, as is the custom every year. But this is foolishness from Santos. I mean, this is pap. This is hooey. This is applesauce.
Well,
So what? So what if you say the words? I'm sure he is able to say, I'm not obligated because you offer me whatever the listed amount to do one of these videos for you is to do a cameo for you. Like, but I don't have to say everything that you're telling me to say if I find it objectionable. By the time he does that and gives it back to him, it doesn't belong to you anymore. We paid you for it. Right?
Yeah, well, there's stuff falls under satire, like you're allowed to show clips from Gone with the Wind as long as you're commenting on them, in a documentary or on TV or whatever it is. So Jimmy has the satire argument. He has there's commercial gain from this that I didn't agree with. That's back to the George Clooney picture.
I get that, but if you told George Clooney, hey, look, right here, George, say you love McDonald's Big Macs. Like, that's up to him if he says it, and that's fine to use
it is,
then, right?
but McDonald's couldn't use it. That's where, but I don't know.
McDonald's couldn't use it, but if you did it and I got you on cell phone saying that, you can't tell me you're not allowed to show that anywhere. Because I asked you to say it, and we're engaging in this back and forth.
I think it's fair that you could show it. I think it's to an individual or something. I think it's network is where it is. I don't know. Listen, I'm tired. I've been told 200,000 times, anyone can sue anyone. Shut up. I get it. Everyone can sue everyone over anything. I understand.
Doesn't mean you should. But
Doesn't mean you
final
should.
question is, who do you like better, Jimmy Kimmel or George Santos?
Well, I'm writing for the Oscars now, and I'm also punching up some stuff Santos has. He's on the Toastmaster circuit, so I've decided to bring a little levity to some of that stuff. Can get a little bit dry sometimes. So they're both kind of guys I'm working with, so I just sort of don't want to say.
Shouldn't you get in touch with Jimmy and have him do a cameo for you under false pretenses? See how it feels.
Yeah, I don't think it'll go anywhere. On the other hand, who the fuck knows? I don't. Look, everything is on the table. I mean, Trump just got sued for $355 million. I mean, it's just everything's just sort of on. We're living in a world where litigiously it's all on.
It's not entirely without precedent, though. I mean, Borat movies are a good.
Yeah, he gets sued.
He got sued, but he didn't lose any of those, as far as I know. Correct? You can still see the movies.
Well, it's also hard to tell who settles.
Okay.
And if he settles, then we wouldn't know he lost. I don't know. There's too many fucking lawyers. Is what I've come down with. Yes.
Yeah. Well, speaking of lawyers and Big Macs, so there is a guy who is suing McDonald's because they put cheese on his Big Mac and he can't have any dairy. He took a bite out of it, went into anaphylactic shock. They went to the hospital. Him and his girlfriend went to the hospital. They took an Uber because they thought the ambulance would take too long.
Yeah. Well, let me speak as someone who's worked at McDonald's. I used to make the Big Macs. They would get grill orders like no secret sauce. When you're 16 and you have a 10-cent head and you're a D- student like I am, and you have a caulking gun filled with secret sauce, and all you do all day is look at buns and go, and at some point, 4 hours in, someone goes, no secret sauce, you can't stop. You hit it, and then what you do is you wipe it off. Every non-secret sauce Big Mac I had remnants of secret sauce. It was just, I took a playing card or spatula or something, just like scraped it off. That's number one. Number two, when I made those Big Macs, there's language, They go Big Macs, and then you'd go cheese count on Macs, please. And then they'd go cheese 3, please. And then you'd go burgers up wrap, please. Which meant I made 10 Big Macs, and you gave me a cheese count in front of how many needed the cheese, and you said 8 of them or 6 of them or whatever. And that's the number I put on. And then you put them on. They don't have a special wrapper for non-cheese versus cheese. They're all just on a tray. You have some pothead in front and some dingbat in back. Everyone's on auto drive. Everyone's just sitting there staring at the clock, cheese, whatever. You could easily get the wrong burger at any McDonald's at any time because you have a bunch of brain-dead teenagers or people that don't speak English. Essentially, it's either English-speaking dumbos or Hispanic-speaking smart people, but that ain't their first language, English. This has to happen all the time. If you're going to go into anaphylactic shock because, like, if I said, well, I like a Caesar salad, but if I eat a crouton, I'm going into shock. Well, I wouldn't order Caesar salad, or I would thoroughly check the Caesar salad because there's an idiot in the back who doesn't speak English who just puts croutons on Caesar salad. And yes, we all know this discussion of saying people no or extra this or none. Like, you go to the Starbucks, you go, iced coffee, light ice, light ice. Yeah, okay. Bonk, right in, whole cup full ice, and you're going, light ice. And they're, oh, yeah. I mean, they forget shit 40 seconds later because it's a dumb job and you're on autopilot and you have to keep just moving. This is on him. Also, I don't think that cheese has any cheese in it. I feel like it's all canola oil and orange dye number 7. I don't trust this guy. You would have to peek. If somebody said, I'm definitely allergic to pickles, so I'm ordering my McDonald burger with no pickles, I would not trust the good people at McDonald's to miss the pickles.
Right. You're going to put your life in the hands of that minimum wage person.
16-year-old me.
Yeah.
It's not,
No,
you're dead.
This is a setup.
Absolute. I don't know if it's a setup, but this throw your hands in the air like this is on you, McDonald's, and I bet you that McDonald's is going to lose this one, right? Because the idea of personal responsibility, it's your life on the line. What is it about the Big Mac? You had to have a Big Mac, cheeseless. There was no other option for it. You had to order the Big Mac, but with the just make sure you don't put cheese on. But you don't look. You're very concerned about what might happen to you if you have cheese, but you're not looking at it yourself. You're leaving it to
it's very spottable because even if you take that American cheese square and you get it dead nuts centered on that patty, 4 corners are peeking out around the edge, and it's orange. It's literally the color we make Caltrans vests so we don't run over guys in the night so you can spot people. That's the color of the cheese. This is on the person.
I never thought about that. So the single American cheese makers of our society leaned in the direction of proper sandwiches over burgers. A determination was made whenever, like, we're better off to square our American cheese because it'll be used on more burgers than it will be on turkey sandwiches and ham sandwiches. And so the circle, it would fit neatly inside the bun if it was a circle, but we don't care about that. We're going to make it a square so it fits into the square bread.
No, it's processed cheese, and it would cost too much money to make it a circle.
Why? Who says who? How do you know? This is one of these ones that Mr. Cheese. If anybody's history with cheese requires no further investigation, it's Mike Dawson.
Right, why is American cheese?
Well, listen,
and let's see.
The king of the cheese whiz calzone at Jimmy Kimmel's home is telling us what the score is on cheese.
Yeah,
here's why it's not a circle, everybody. It's a square, and I know. Don't question me because I think I've proven to be the authoritarian on all matters
Dave
cheese.
Thinks big cheese preferred sandwiches over burgers.
Big cheese clearly
that's
did.
The real
I'm
story.
looking at the facts, friend.
I think that
you're looking at shapes.
Maybe that's
You're a child.
Listen, I know Wendy's has his own take on why he went square, but for the cheese match alone, it's probably worth it to go with the square patty. Also, Dawson, I don't want to fly in your face, but when you get the provolone and now the Sargento cheese or whatever, it is round. It's all round in the packaged stuff now. So
that's right. How do you explain that one, Mr. Cheese? Dr. Cheese?
I mean, the first thing that comes up is when I Google why is American cheese square, it says cheese is made in rectangular blocks.
All right. Well, that's a step toward the light.
It has to do with the production.
Well, that's clearly a lie. How do we explain provolone? What's a cheese wheel? That's not square.
How come
those cheeses are made a different way? American cheese is a processed cheese.
All right, I'm over this, but I do want to know why is Swiss cheese still square when you buy it in slices and the provolone and the other stuff is round?
I mean, that's exactly the heart of the issue.
Right.
Well, ask Dr. Cheese.
Cheddar square and Swiss is square. Provolone is round. And what's Munster? What do they have?
It's like a square.
I will tell you something. We didn't grow up out here with Havarti. Don't sleep on Havarti. Havarti's delicious. You have to go to the heartland. You have to go to the place John Cougar Mellencamp sings about to get Havarti. Havarti. Someone made a proclamation in L.A. in like 1961 that we shall have no Havarti in this city. It does not exist. And then people go, it's a great sounding name and it's delicious cheese. And they go, nope, it's Swiss, it's American, it's cheddar. We don't go
Can
Havarti.
you have a party without Havarti?
Can't have a party
so.
without. You don't want to be tardy to the Havarti party.
How is it
Provolone is round.
How is Havarti losing to cheddar?
Naturally produced in a ball and then stacked on each other.
Oh,
then the weight of
Dawson's
it.
whole shape
So
thing
it's
is
all
coming
it's
into
all,
shape.
It's all in the natural production of the cheese, or the unnatural production. As
All right,
American.
I will put Swiss cheese under. You know when people go, well, what's some stuff you didn't like when you were a kid, but you like now? And I go, listen, I didn't like liver when I was a kid. I don't like liver now, but I didn't like mushrooms, and I like mushrooms.
Big
now,
one for me, right?
Swiss cheese. I thought Swiss cheese tasted weird when I was a kid. It tasted weird, and now I like Swiss cheese. So there we go.
I like a nice Swiss I could really tick through 17 to 23 different situations. I might go with a Swiss over all other cheeses.
Wow.
Ooh.
But as a kid as well.
I always loved it. Loved it with a salami sandwich, a circle, Swiss,
Oh,
square.
wow. And
Still
yet
enjoyed it.
they
Still
got
enjoyed
along.
it.
All right, let's
Is
do.
that? I don't know. Let's check in with the good Dr. Cheese and see if that's okay. But I did.
What shapes do pigs come in, Dawson? They're kind of round, so that makes sense. Yeah.
How about the fact that I mentioned, of all the foods in the world, I mentioned a Big Mac, and the next story Donovan brought up is a Big Mac story. That doesn't
Incredible.
drop your jaw that of all the things I could have said, George Clooney for Big Macs, and the next story is a Big Mac story. You don't react to that.
You're right. I believe in the Great Magnet, and then sometimes Chris will pull stuff from the bottom and hop it up.
Did you?
I did, but I
See,
wish I
I've
didn't tell
burned
you
myself
that.
a few times by going, what a crazy kismet. And he went, well, that was at the bottom, but I put it
Let
at
me
the top.
believe in
I
magic,
know, I
Donovan.
should
Come
have.
on.
But this guy is living his life a lot more conservatively now. When asked if he'll eat at McDonald's again, he says, "Yeah, I do. I just order the fries and a plain burger with nothing on it. I can't take that risk again."
Yeah, but he already did order a burger with nothing
well,
on it.
here's just a plain burger, patty and bun. No, not a Big Mac. So.
I don't know. You better look at it. What if he gets?
But
What
they-
if they skim
Tell
a
me
Big
what's
Mac?
his life now.
They have cheese. They have
I'm gonna eat it and
cheeseburgers,
find
though.
out.
They have cheeseburgers.
But it's less layers for him to analyze and check. I don't
this
know.
guy's an idiot.
All right, so Destiny's Child is still kind of in the news. Like, remember, Beyonce, Jay-Z was defending her at the Grammys, and then she came out with a country record.
Yeah, I don't like Jay-Z, but I like Beyonce more than Jay-Z.
Right. And if she wins Album of the Year for her country record now, is it because the Academy was pressured into giving her the Album of the Year? Should they even consider it? Well, Destiny's Child also had another member in the group, Kelly Rowland. Mm-hmm. And she was on the Today Show. She was the guest on Thursday at the 8 a.m. hour, and then she was scheduled to fill in on the 4th hour as a guest host. But according to sources, she didn't like her dressing room, and she left because of that. And Rita Ora had to step in and stay longer to cover for her. A source said that they walked out because they didn't like the dressing room, and she asked if there was a better green room upstairs. Can I use that one? But Jennifer Lopez was in there using it because she was performing on the show.
Yeah. God, if I hear Jennifer Lopez interviewed again talking about nothing, about this album's about her truth, and it's about finding herself and finding her truth and her love, it's like, they're four people. Let's see. There's Sofia Vergara, who we have to hear on all subjects all the time, but never has any fucking thing to say. Then there's Jennifer Lopez. She must be heard on everything. And then there's Heidi Klum. Three bitches who've never said a sentence that ever made sense, but they have to weigh in on loving yourself and finding your truth and going to a place. And this is a way that her writing style is she writes about things that happen to her. Like, oh, yes, I write about things that happen to George Clinton or Bill Clinton or Steve Yeager. Everyone writes shit about them. That's how that's how it works. You know what I mean? They don't write about you.
George Clinton, Bill Clinton, and Steve Yeager.
Those are who I write about. Like, okay.
On Substack.
Oh, you write about yourself, and these are your feelings, and now you're going to do this album, and this album is about you and about your
The album is
truth. And
called
about,
This Is Me
This is
Now.
me now, okay? Not later, not before now, right now, except for at some point the album's going to be 7 years old. Is it still you now, or is it now we change it to then? And then we have to learn about your truth and about what you're feeling and about how you're experiencing everything through, but you can only experience it through your truth, because what the fuck happened to adults? You know what I mean? Did adults used to have conversations about normal shit?
The only songs that you really need to explain are ones that aren't about you. Hey,
Yeah.
who's this Rocky Raccoon you're singing about, Paul McCartney and John
Right,
Lennon?
right.
What's that? Oh, that's a story. It's a fun story about that's
Norwegian wood. What is that fun? Well,
everything else we'll assume is just about you.
Yeah.
Singer. I mean, what else would you be singing about?
Well, I'll tell you what. Jennifer Lopez, tell us when you're not singing about
Right,
you. Give us a
right.
break. Give us a heads up when you write a song that doesn't have to do with you and your feelings. And you'll be very candid. You've made mistakes along the way. Oh, let
Not
me write
perfect.
this down.
Not perfect.
Not perfect. If I got to hear her talk, listen, Ben secretly has to be like, oh, he's fucking smoking out in his patio.
All the
I
pictures
can't
are great.
fucking hear this bitch talk about feelings like ever. Like, I'm from Boston. I'm smart. Like, I create shit. She gets in her underpants and takes pictures, and she's constantly telling me about her fucking truth. I can't fucking take it anymore. I'm going to just smoke. I'm going to eat a donut. I'm going to smoke through a donut. I'm going to smoke through a donut on this fucking patio of our $77 million house, just as long as she's on the other side of it, fucking talking about her truth. Oh, you're sitting down. She's got a photo shoot. She's got the makeup artist coming over in the morning. She's going to do a video. Hope you're sitting down. She's shaking her ass the entire time. It's like, and he has to be thinking, what the fuck are they going to talk about? Oh, Steve Grogan was an underrated quarterback, so says she. They can't be talking about anything, right? Because she's just a Dumbo who wants to talk about her fucking truth and shake her ass and makeup and hair, right? Yeah, he wants to write movies and do something, right? They just have nothing to talk about. That's why he's always smoking. He doesn't even smoke. He just wants to go outside.
It's a time alone.
He's gonna go
One of those
outside.
candy cigarettes.
Yeah,
Not
he's
even a
just
real
gonna
thing.
go out, just stand on this patio and smoke while she's in the house writing another song about herself and about her truth and about going to a place of discovery where she can discover her truth.
I don't want to disrupt your interesting here, but she was very peeved on her last album about the lack of raked sync.
Oh,
yeah.
did she dedicate a song to Seek Ranks?
She was complaining about it. As a
Wow.
matter of fact. Yeah. Then she went into circle cheese.
Oh, wow. I'm going to have to re-examine this. All right, Mekhi Phifer is out there, been in every movie. God, let's see. Broke out in Spike Lee's film Clockers.
8 Mile.
8 Mile. So many movies. Anyway, I haven't talked to him in a bit.
He was on Loveline back in the day. Huh?
He was on Loveline, MTV. Yeah. See, I missed sharing my truth with the kids on MTV. That was my truth.
That was you then.
Yeah, that was me then. This is me now. Let me guess, something with you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to name my album. Ben
Have a
must have been like,
conversation.
let me guess, something about you. Am I right? Am I warm here? Something with you, big picture you, everything you.
Have a conversation with the younger Adam Carolla. Maybe that's what you need to do, Adam.
Yeah, like that. I wish I could have talked to myself when I was this age now. Oh, the truth I would have told myself. Shaq, by the way, -3. That's the pod with Kevin Hench, who we all love. Yep. And it's Fridays, 15 minutes, easy pregame show streaming on Twitter and YouTube is Extra Points with Sarah Tiana, who we love over here.
Oh, what a time we had with Ace Carolla, and at the critical time when it was time for a nation to mourn the loss of the heavyweight champion of the world, Apollo Creed. So it was great for Ace to join us.